Okay, so we've got to talk about this because some pretty big news is swirling around Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. I mean, they only really went public in early 2024, but it looks like things are getting serious, like really serious.
And by serious, I mean the ultimate commitment. The one question that's on everyone's mind based on these new reports is, wait a second, are they actually planning a secret wedding?
And the answer, at least according to sources close to them, is a huge, resounding yes. Not only is the wedding on the table, but they're apparently already making plans. So let's get into what we actually know. First up, a secret wedding is coming. We're going to break down the when, the where, and the who of what they've got in the works.
All right, so here are the key details. The timeline they're reportedly aiming for is summer 2026. And if you're picturing some massive celebrity spectacle, think again. They're going for a really small, really intimate ceremony. We're talking just immediate family. This is clearly all about them and not about putting on a show.
But the wedding plan itself is really only part of the story. To get the full picture of their commitment, you have to look at the ring, because it is so much more than just a pretty piece of jewelry. Yeah, this wasn't just some diamond he picked out of a catalog. The engagement ring Benny gave Selena has this incredibly personal, deep meaning that honestly says everything about their connection. So get this, Benny designed the ring himself. It has purple stones, and that's the key. The color purple is the symbol for Selena's very long and very public battle with Lutus. A source even called it a shockingly thoughtful detail, and you can see why. It's such a powerful symbol of how much he cares.
And that thoughtfulness, it points to something bigger here. Which brings us to Section 3, a peaceful kind of love. Let's dig in why this calm, stable relationship is so different from what we've seen in her past.
Anyone who's followed Selena knows her past relationships were often surrounded by just intense public drama. And for someone who grew up in the spotlight while also dealing with major health struggles, that kind of pressure has to take a toll. What she seems to have with Benny is the complete opposite of all that. It's like a safe harbor. And you know what? We don't even have to rely on anonymous sources for this one. Selena herself said it. She described her relationship with Benny as, and this is a direct quote, "the most peaceful relationship of my life." That one quote says it all, right? It's not about headlines, it's about stability and a real partnership. Which brings us right to our fourth section, building a future together. This isn't just talk. We're seeing real, tangible steps that they're taking on the path to getting married. Okay, let's just run through the checklist here. First, they've got the family stamp of approval. Selena's mom, Mandy, apparently already calls Benny son. That's huge. Second, they're house hunting together in LA, literally looking for the foundation to build their life on. And third, as we just covered, they're actively planning that 2026 wedding. These aren't just romantic daydreams. These are serious moves. All of this leads to one last, really fascinating question. What changed Selena's mind? Because this represents a pretty surprising shift in how she's talked about marriage in the past. For years, her fans heard a pretty consistent message. Selena said publicly, more than once, that marriage just wasn't really on her to-do list. It wasn't a priority for her. So, what happened? And that's really the big question we're left with. From a custom ring that honors her deepest struggles, to a relationship that brings her quiet stability, to getting a huge thumbs up from her family, it seems like finding the right person didn't just change her relationship status, it might have changed her entire outlook on the future. So, has Benny Blanco truly changed everything for Selena? All signs really seem to be pointing to yes.